that she was yelling for help and you didn't even help her.
I couldn't. She was running.
Why didn't you run after her?
Because she was running from me, and I'm not going to chase strange women down the street. I've got in trouble before for that.
You have to be undoubtedly the most self-centered, selfish, egotistical males I have ever met.
Thank you. Yes, I am. And what about you? You're just about the same. The only reason you're here is you want help from us.
Listen, that's not really...
Doc, excuse me. You may be right. I am just thinking of me and my sister. But what about you? You're just thinking about you and your Laura. If you just relax and join forces with me, we could be helping each other.
Forget it. You would only hold me back.
You listen to me. I'm an investigative reporter. I know my business.
Well, why don't you run along and do a little investigating and stop beating people up in their own homes?
I am. And right now I'm trying to find out what the connection is between the two Lauras.
There isn't any.
Oh, and you're so sure?
Yeah, I'm sure.
Oh, everything's so absolute with you, isn't it?
Absolutely.
Well, then how can you be so sure there's no connection?
Because I know Laura. I know all her friends. All of them. I mean, all of them. We have no secrets whatsoever between us.
Just that she disappeared on the same night my sister did. And her name happens to be Laura.
Can I make a suggestion?
No.
Come on, Luke.
All right, but make it quick, will
All
you?
right. Look, why don't we all sit down like the civilized people that we all pretend to be and discuss this? I mean, we compare a few notes. We can assess very quickly if there's any connection between the two.
All right, but make it fast. I got a lot of stuff to do today.
All right. You go first. You tell her everything about Laura's disappearance.
All right.
That you know.
Okay. She was supposed to be on a plane from New York last night. She took an earlier flight. She came into Port Charles, and nobody saw her since, except some guy that Robert saw on the docks in Tulsa.
Now, from what we've been able to determine, he was the last one to see Laura. She said she was on her way to Kelly's, but never got there.
Well, did you notice her missing right away?
Well, of course I noticed her missing. I spent all night looking for her, didn't I?
Well, is that when you say you saw my sister?
Yeah. First I thought it was my wife, and then I got closer to her and I realized it wasn't. She ran off into the fog. If I had thought there was any kind of connection, I would have run after her.
And officially at that stage, Laura wasn't even missing.
What about witnesses?
Robert and I have checked every possible one.
Except the photographer.
Yeah, that's right. What's his name? Mel Wilson.
According to Mickey, this is Laura's agent. This photographer, went missing on exactly the same day that Laura disappeared.
What about a publicity stunt?
Ah, no, she would have told Luke.
Yeah, but you wouldn't have gone along with it.
No, but that's beside the point.
Yeah, but she might not have told you if she would have known.
Laura, as I said before, and I do, we do not have secrets.
Well, then what about the photographer?
What about him?
Well, have you checked in with him, or...
Not yet.
Well, why not?
Because, as you very well know, I spent all last night running around the hospital chasing a bunch of red herrings. He happens to be the first guy on my list today.
Well, we've got to be open to all the possibilities.
Now, wait a minute. Not we. This is not a team effort. Now, if you want to sit here and ask Robert questions and he wants to answer them, fine. You guys go for it. But I'm working alone, and I don't want to see her on this boat when I get back.
Where are you going?
I'm going to the hospital and check on Laura number 3.
Ladies, mind if I join you?
Not at all. Sit down, Steve.
Thank you.
Steve, have you been up to ICU?
Yes, I just finished talking to Dr. Martinson.
Yeah? And what did he say?
Vital signs are very good. She'll pull through all right, but it's going to be a long haul.
And when will she be able to talk?
Well, there's really no telling. Martinson says that we should take it hour by hour.
Well, listen, Steve, have the police been involved in this?
Well, Ramsey's been calling all morning. He's very anxious to talk to her the minute she's conscious.
Then they must be convinced that it wasn't an accident.
Yeah, it looks that way. One of the witnesses said that the driver deliberately ran her down.
Uh-huh.
That makes it attempted homicide or assault with a deadly weapon. Leslie, any leads on Laura?
No, that's why I'm waiting to see if this girl can give us any.
Hi, everybody.
Hello.
Steve, you want to talk now?
Yes, of course. Excuse us, will you?
Of course.
What is it, Arthur?
It's about Ann Logan, what happened last night.
Oh?
I recommend immediate suspension.
I don't agree.
Well, you have to do something. I mean, Ann left Ruby in charge of the nurse's station. That's a direct violation of the rules.
Well, Ruby's been with us for quite a while. She's quite capable of taking care of the desk from time to time.
The point is that she disobeyed a specific order. She went into surgery when you specifically said she shouldn't go near an operating room.
It was an emergency, Arthur. There wasn't time to go through proper channels. Besides, Gail took full responsibility.
Frankly, Steve, you know, you surprise me.
Oh, how so?
I mean, the way you handle your nurses, and specifically your niece.
Now, look here. I have a great deal of respect for my nurses. They're the finest group in the country. As for Ann Logan, both doctors in OR praised her performance. As far as her leaving the desk, it was a minor infraction when you consider the medical emergency.
That is not the point.
That's right. That's not the point. The point is you seem to have some chip on your shoulder about Ann Logan.
That's not true.
Isn't it? Look, I realize that you're upset, still upset about what she did at the banquet. But do you find it necessary to keep harassing her?
Harassing her? I'm merely pointing out the rules of the hospital. Rules that are your job to enforce. And you're giving her the right to break them.
She's not breaking anything. You seem to find pleasure in attacking her. Why?
Steve, I respect the position you're in. But I don't respect your belittling me for trying to uphold hospital policy. No, I have nothing personal against Miss Logan. Nothing at all.
You know, the beginning and the end can often be the same.
Go on, I'm about 10 steps behind you.
If only my answering machine recorded messages for longer than 15 seconds.
Why?
Well, when my sister called, she left a phone number, but it got cut off before the last digits were on there.
Well, how'd you find the apartment then?
Well, we checked with the phone company first.
Hang on, only the police can get that sort of information.
Yeah, that's where I went next. But it took them so long. By the time I got to the apartment, it was too late.
You mean she'd already left?
I think it's possible that she was abducted.
Was there sign of a forced entry, a struggle?
No, but it just didn't seem right.
But what about the note? Huh?
Well, she called me first, and I told her that I wanted to meet her. And she said no, but I forced her.
How?
Well, I can be very persuasive if I have to be.
But she didn't show.
No, and I think that's because someone prevented it.
Explaining the hurried note.
She's been held. I know that someone's holding her.
I guess it's possible.
What about Laura Spencer? Could she have anything to do with this?
Only in that she claimed somebody was following her, too.
Was this before her disappearance?
No, it was an ongoing thing. First in New York and then on planes coming back. And that's how we came up with the name, by cross-referencing the flight manifests.
You mean you actually have a name?
Yeah, D. Gray.
D. Gray.
Does it mean anything?
I'm thinking.
Well, he's a tall guy, piercing eyes, and wears a sapphire ring.
It doesn't ring a bell, but he could have been connected with my sister. I don't know. What about an address or something like that?
Well, we called first thing this morning. The address is phony. Luke thinks the whole thing's a waste of time.
That's because Luke doesn't have the patience for this kind of business.
Well, in any event, D. Gray's covered his tracks. Just as a matter of interest, when did your sister get to Port Charles?
Honestly, I don't know. What are you looking for?
Flight manifest. Now, this is the flight manifest that last plane that Laura Spencer was on. Now, if Laura Templeton's on this one, too, it could mean that this guy D. Gray's been following the both of them.
Dr. Piley.
Hello, Leslie. Monica, Jesse.
Piley.
Say, I understand the girl in the accident was not Laura.
No, same name, different girl.
Do you have any leads?
Not really.
Well, I am praying that something turns up soon.
Thank you.
Jesse, do you know where Gail is?
She was on her way to her office.
Thank you. And Leslie, if there's anything I can do, you will call me, won't you?
Yes, thank you, Lee.
Hi, Leslie.
Hi.
Hello, Luke. How are you?
Hi.
Any news?
Well, nothing encouraging. Thank you for asking. How is the lady upstairs?
The lady upstairs is improving slowly.
Slowly. Okay, well, that's at least 2 out of the woods.
What do you mean?
Oh, there was a young woman here last night with me named Jackie Templeton.
Yeah.
You met her, yes?
Yeah.
Well, she has a sister named Laura. She got a note from her today saying that she was all right.
Oh.
Leslie, could I talk to you for a second somewhere?
Sure, of course. Would you excuse me?
Sure.
Right ahead.
So she's improving slowly.
Yeah, she can't talk yet, but if you ask her to, she'll wiggle her fingers.
Uh-huh. Well, Leslie, we found out that there was a guy named D. Gray on every flight that Laura took from here to New York and back.
Really?
Yeah, now Robert used his CKH stick to find out that, well, he found out an address on the guy.
That's terrific.
No, it's not that terrific. The address was phony. It turns out to be right in the middle of the Hudson River.
Oh. Well, what about Jackie Templeton? Did she go back to New York?
We should be so lucky. No, she's convinced that her sister is not okay, and so she's determined to stay here.
Well, that's good. That's good. The two of you can work together.
Not
then.
likely, Les.
Well, I thought that you already...
No, you don't understand. You see, we work a lot differently, she and I.
Oh, listen, Luke, don't discount her, because maybe in looking for her Laura, she'll find something that tells us about ours.
Here it is. Laura Templeton, 12 spaces down from Laura Spencer.
So they were on the same flight.
Along with D. Gray. What a happy little mob that must have been.
Yeah. You know, I've got an idea. It's a little crazy.
Go on. I love crazy ideas. They have been known to work.
Yeah, it's simple, really. All we do is we call every D. Gray in all the New York metropolitan area.
There could be thousands. I mean, what if this guy's using a phony name? What if he's not even listed? We already know he's using a phony address. And just supposing we do the impossible and get him on the line. What do we talk about? Stocks and bonds?
Leave that to me. I'm a very resourceful reporter.
Okay. What do we need?
Okay, we'll need pencils, paper, every New York phone book we can find. And all the help we can get.
In the meantime, I will leave a note for Luke.
Yeah. And while you're at it, put in there to Mr. Luke Spencer that whether he likes it or not, we are going to find Mr. D. Gray.
I don't believe it. Mel? Mel, will you turn that thing off? Will you turn that thing off?
All right. What is it?
Listen to this. A still-to-be-identified young woman was struck by a hit-and-run driver on Marlin Avenue late yesterday. She's in critical condition at General Hospital, and witnesses to the occurrence allege the driver hit her deliberately.
Wait, Marlin Avenue, that's near here.
Yeah, 2 blocks away. But that's not all. Listen. A hospital spokesman said the only clue to the young woman's identity is her first name.
Laura?
Laura.
Let me see that.
It's David. I know it's David. Who are you calling?
Baby, I'm gonna call David. It's about time I found out what was going on here. Shh. Just cool it, will you? Quiet. Yeah, I'd like to leave a message for a Mr. David Gray. Would you please have him call Mel? Right. David Gray. Thank you. Done.
Don't want to hear...
Come on, just give me a break, will you, Dad? Look, I proved that I had nothing to do with Laura's disappearance. Now, Luke, believe me. Now, why can't you?
I have made the mistake of believing in you one too many times already.
Look, what do you want me to do? I told Luke about the Cassadon guy that was hanging around the boat. I admitted that I ripped up Laura's nightgown. Now, what else do you need from me?
I need for you to leave me alone, Scotty.
What if I could solve Laura's disappearance?
Well, go do it. Go on, do it.
Oh, Lee, really, I know something. I do.
All right, what? What is it?
Okay, look, this Cassadon guy that was hanging around the boat, he was just carrying out a curse that Helena Cassadon had put on Luke and Laura's marriage. Now, I heard it.
A curse?
Yeah.
You know how ridiculous you sound?
No, wait a minute. This is the truth. Believe me, I'm telling you that...
Stop it. The truth, Billy. Why don't you go back to Kalima? I have never been more disappointed in anyone in my life than I am in you, Scotty. If you want to mess up your own life, go ahead, but don't mess up mine and Gail's. The only curse Luke and Laura have to worry about is your coming back to this town.
But it's a mistake.
We need some answers. I've got to try it.
But what if we provoke him?
Look, we're not gonna provoke him. I just want to find out what David is up to. He's not even gonna be aware of it.
You're creating a conflict. You realize that, don't you? He'll come over here and kill both of us.
Wrong. Not while I've got this and this.
Great. Where does that leave me?
Okay. Very simply, darling. You are part of this project, therefore a part of me. David knows if any harm comes to you, he's gonna lose me. Now, this is my insurance. I am your insurance.
Yeah, until the end of this project.
Well, then it won't matter. David is gonna have what he wants, and I'm gonna have what I want.
Then why push him now?
Darling, I told you I am not gonna push him. I just want to know what he knows about you.
Don't answer it, please.
I've got to. Laura, stop. Hello? David, yeah, listen, I need to see you as soon as possible. No, I'll wait till we get together. Right. Bye.
When is he coming?
Tomorrow.
He scares me, Mel.
Oh, come here, darling. There's no reason to be scared. Nothing is gonna happen to you. I promise. Just, okay?
Leslie?
Mm-hmm.
Jessie was changing shifts, but she wanted me to tell you that she's praying for Laura. And if you need anything, just let her know.
Well,
That goes for me, too, you know.
yes, I do. Thank you.
Get some rest.
Yeah, a little bit later.
Laura? Laura, can you hear me? I wish I knew that you could. I wish I knew that you weren't in any pain. I know this is really terrible for you. I wish I could make it go away. But you're alive. That's all that matters. You're alive. And the rest will come gradually. And you'll have a lot of support and a lot of help. I wish your parents could know that you're here, that you're all right. But you are alive, so that makes them luckier than they know. God, thank you for taking care of this girl. Please take care of my Laura wherever she is. Whatever trouble she may be in. And please let her feel my love. And that I will always love her.